So I'd like to appreciate y'all for tuning in to another Chris Caden show. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So I went on a vacation last week, and honestly, this vacation was a life-changing event for me. It really helped me redefine my goals, what I want to achieve in life, and where I want to go. But it also taught me something else that was kind of important, and you don't really realize until you unplug from the world. And it's that social media is really an addiction, and it's kind of leading to this cult-like behavior. And each platform offers this different form of either negativity, group hive think, or you're stuck in this bubble, or you're living in the facade. And being able to unplug and get away from social media for the 5 days that I was on vacation, it really let me see the light. Now, I'm a person that I've been on social media since it started, from MySpace to Facebook to all of that. And now as a content creator, I felt compelled that I had to be on social media all the time, stay up to date with what's going on in the world. So I know, hey, I need to make a video about this, or hey, I need to make a video about that. But in return of doing that, I started to let social media's ideals and thoughts kind of trickle into my brain, and it had a cognitive effect that I didn't really realize until I got away from it. Now, you may be asking, oh, social media, I can handle social media. I don't know what you're talking about, Chris, but I feel like in 10 to 15 years, when they start to do studies on the brain, they're gonna see this big cognitive effect of social media on the brain. And obviously there's gonna be some things that are positive, but I also think it's gonna lead to a lot of this negativity and a lot of this sadness and depression and things that we see on a day-to-day basis more often than not. But before I go into each of the social medias, I do want to say, if you add up the combination of all of these social medias and what they do and play a part in the things, I feel like this is why we have seen America transition to even more of everyone thinking they're a main character, everyone being self-entitled, narcissism as an all-time high. It's not healthy and it's not productive to think the world revolves around you at all times. So when you log off the app and the world really doesn't revolve around you like they think it does, it leads to these weird encounters, it leads to these Karen moments, it leads to these, I don't know, but yeah, I think all of these social medias definitely play a part in the self-entitled narcissism world that we are living in today. Now, before I dig deeper into each of the social medias, the ones that I want to talk about mainly today are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and then Reddit and message boards. Those are the main 5 that I want to kind of dive in and harp on more, because those are the ones that are the most popular, those are the ones that are the most influential, and the ones that I can give the most information on. Now, before I dig deeper into these social medias, this is your first time watching me, maybe after the content I deliver, you become a loyal subscriber, and by becoming a loyal subscriber, you turn on the notification bell for all my videos so you can like and participate in the comment section. And for today's sponsor, No Idol Apparel, they've been sponsoring me for the past month and a half now. I'm really grateful and appreciative of them for that. Let me show you a video of what they're about. I don't know if you've seen some of my previous videos, but they're gearing up for more of a release come September, October. That's why you need to make sure you check in, grab the stuff that they have now while it's still hot. They got some swimming trunks, they got some stuff for the winter. They have stuff for all 4 seasons, so it's something you could be shopping any time of the year. Just check it out. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. noidolapparel.com to see what they're about. So now I want to talk about the social medias and how each of them play a different part. Now let's start with Facebook, because that's the oldest of the relevant ones today. And I feel like Facebook really puts you in a bubble. It puts you in this space where you think your friends and family's thoughts and opinions matter more. They hold more weight than what they really should be, and you form this perception of this is how the world thinks because of everyone in my city or town is thinking and talking like this. And in reality, that's not how the world is. The world does not revolve around just you and your friends and family. You put so much importance on what they have to say and do, and you're like, oh, I see all my friends and family are getting married. That means everybody's getting married. Or, oh, everybody's getting woke now. Or whatever it is. I've noticed that people that spend a majority of their time on Facebook, they're stuck in this really small bubble, and they think they know the reality or the world that we're in. And in general, they really don't. It's just, I don't know. Me personally, I really do not care what majority of the people I grew up with have to say. I grew up with you from, some of them from elementary to middle school, high school to college. You had different ideals, you grow apart from each other. And when you get older, you just become more of yourself. And some of them became more of people I never want to talk to or interact with again. And that's perfectly fine. But I feel like people that still consume themselves with Facebook on a day-to-day basis, they're stuck in that small town vibe bubble, and they're never really going to get out. And I hope that they do, or I hope that they learn. But when one of the few times I log into Facebook and you see these like big ass threads of people going back and forth and arguing or doing that, and I'm just like, there's so much more you could be doing that's productive with your day. And it leads to this, like I said, you're stuck in this bubble, and you need to get out of that bubble and see the real world for what it is. See people that actually look at things differently from you, or have been on a complete different side of the world, so they can offer a different perspective. And you're not going to get that when you're just using Facebook that's with your bubble. Those are the main issues that I have with Facebook. And then, as we know, Facebook owns Instagram. So let's talk about Instagram real quick. Now, Instagram to me is the social media it's kind of changed the most. In the early 2010s, it was nothing but photos. Then they saw Snapchat with the stories start popping off. So they're like, we gonna take that from y'all. The Instagram stories started popping off. Now Instagram is becoming more of a thing of you're posting reels. The main thing that I've noticed and seen with Instagram is everybody is living their best life. Everybody is the most successful they've ever been. And Instagram is just a definition of living a facade and projecting a world that's not really your reality, but that's what everyone wants to think and believe. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's also on the opposite end of the spectrum. When you're looking at Instagram and you're having a bad day and you see people, whether it's a celebrity, maybe it's an artist, maybe it's people you grew up with, maybe it's influencers you like, and they're living their best life, they're on a beach or do something, and you're stuck at your dead end 9 to 5, it's gonna make you sad. It's gonna end up depressing you. But what you don't know is what these people are doing off this app. They may be miserable as hell. They may be having to tolerate with shit that they don't really want to, but they have to get these photos or look cooler than what they are. So it's like, it's cool and helpful to see progress and updates from your friends, families, or influencers, whoever you really want to see. But you also have to remember that there's this facade part that just goes on, and if you let that shit feed into you, it can eat you up and make you just start being resentful for your own life or your own accomplishments, or you don't feel you're doing enough and you need to do more. So I feel like Instagram really offers that for people, and it's cool if you know how to balance it, but not everyone knows how to balance it. Me personally, I've never been the biggest Instagram person. I go on, I get off. I never had too much to be on it because I already knew the jig was up with the facades. I see people I know in real life and the stuff they do, but when I see them in person, I'm like, okay, bro, it is what it is. But those are my main issues. So Facebook keeps you in a bubble, and it makes you think the whole world either agrees with what you do or to see how the small town is. Instagram puts you in this facade that everyone's having their best life possible, and if you're not, then you're a failure and you just feel really down about yourself. Then that leads into the third social media for me that I wanted to talk about, and that's Twitter. Twitter has been the website that I've been the most active on. I've seen it transform. I've been on Twitter since 2010, so I've seen all of the different variations. So when Twitter first started, it was just like free reigns of full-on ignorance. You could literally say what you want and there was no consequences for your actions. That led to both good and bad. You had celebrities tweeting wild shit. You had those average people tweeting wild shit. And Twitter was just like a place for whatever you wanted to say. Some negative shit, some funny shit, some stupid shit. Whatever it was at that time, that's what Twitter was. Then, now it's from like 2010 to 2013. Then when Tumblr, people started kind of trickling in, and then Twitter started having this transition. People actually started to be held liable for their tweets. There was like people would start looking up your old tweets, or you were saying stuff like this, or you was using the F word, or if a white person was using the N word, they pull it up. It just started to become a website of, if you don't like someone, you could find a way to tear them down. You also have instant access to celebrities. There's been so many celebrities that have been bullied off of Twitter that they don't go back on it, because if you have issues on Instagram, you could turn off your comments. If you have issues on YouTube, you could turn off your comments. If you have issues on TikTok, you could turn off your comments. Yes, on Twitter, you could turn off the people that reply to you, but they can also quote tweet you, so then you can see that. If you go private, then you've already lost, because people are going to laugh at you like, hey, I'm this big celebrity with over 500,000 followers, now I'm going private. Twitter is just a cesspool of negativity, is what I started to notice, and it's like being part of the bad girls club. The more negative you are, the more people feed into it. They're like, yes, keep going. And it's now gotten to the point where Twitter is just like a daily gender war of whatever you want to hate, you can find a group of people that hate on it with you. If you're a person that loves anime but you like to trash it all the time, there's this anime community for you. If you love to talk politics every day, there's a politics community for you, and you can just shit on people or do that. If you love sports, there's NBA Twitter, there's MLB, NFL, all these different Twitters for you to be able to be on and spread this negativity. And don't get me wrong, there's some parts of Twitter that is good or positive or offers a community feel, but the vast majority of it is so negative and so toxic that it really can fuck with your perception and make you feel like, damn, what is wrong with the world? But everyone's so like evil, mean, and negative and spreading hate. But when you finally get off the app of Twitter, you start to realize this ain't the real world, and people really don't view the world this negatively. People don't have these high standards that they claim to have online, but then they don't offline. To me, Twitter is just like, it's a facade of people acting like they have a really successful life, but then they're also on this app every day being negative and hating on people, and it takes its toll on you. And I've recently started to get off Twitter and use other platforms, because it's just reading and dwelling in negativity every day. It eventually will feed into your own life. Twitter is the perfect app for that. It also has groupthink, so if you only want to follow people that agree with you, you can. If you want to follow people that have different perspectives, you can as well, but that's also going to lead to that potential toxicity. So there's a thin line, and I don't know where it stops or where it ends, or how do you be able to enjoy it. But for me, I just deal with Twitter in doses, because I need Twitter. It gives you perfect updates to breaking news or stories like that, which I need to do for my YouTube channel. So I'm obviously going to be on it, but I'm gonna spend less time on it, because Twitter is just very toxic, it's hateful, and it's not for the weak. Who wants to put themselves to something like that on a day in, day out basis? I know me going forward, I don't. So then we talked about Twitter. Now, before I talk about TikTok, I do want to mention Reddit or message boards, and that's like the ultimate place for hive-minded or groupthink. You go onto a website, hey, I like Drake, so I'm gonna go on this Drake forum. Then you see nothing but people that are fan of Drake's, and you guys are gonna talk with agree each other. Or you're gonna go on some politics website, some anime. Whatever you want to talk or be in this own world, that's what Reddit offers you. And there's been plenty of people that talk about how all these incels come together on Reddit to either bash women or talk about how much they hate the world. And when you continuously be a part of a community that everyone thinks the same as you and is all of that, you're not really growing as a person or seeing the world for what it is, because no matter what in life, not everyone's gonna agree with you, not everyone's gonna like you, not everyone's gonna value your opinion. So when you put yourself in places or positions where all you see is this groupthink and people agreeing with you, you're gonna start to believe that you're almighty, all-knowing, and all-believing. And what this is all leading to, I'm going to talk about it, and the final conclusion is it starts to build this like level of self-entitlement, this narcissism that I'm always right, and if you don't agree with me, you're wrong or an idiot. And I feel like the combination of all of these social medias, let me get into TikTok more before I talk about that. So with TikTok, I feel like the biggest issue with TikTok is that app has really ruined our attention span like no other. It's even for me, I see a video that's like longer than 10 or 15 minutes and I'm like, do I even want to watch that now? TikTok will ruin your attention span. TikTok will also, I've never seen a website that spreaded misinformation as fast as TikTok has. That's why you should not believe anything you just see off TikTok. Please do your research. Please look into things. Don't take stuff for face value, especially with TikTok when it's billions of people from all different parts of the world, different countries, different parts. Misinformation can be spread so fast on the app, but also good information can be spread on the app. So that's where it's the gift and the curse. And then with TikTok, your For You page is literally what you want it to be. So like I've seen some other people's For You pages, like my mom, for instance, all of her For You page is just animals, dogs, this, that, and the other. So for me, I have a mix of like music, topics that deal with like black people. Obviously I'm black. I see some anime or sports, a little bit of that. So also with TikTok, you can get into your own bubble as well. It's a bubble of what you want more so than anything. So I feel like every platform allows you to be in a certain type of bubble. The one with Facebook is with your friends and family. Instagram is just, you see everyone that you look up to or grow up with and you see them living your best life. So in returns makes you feel a little bit worse about yourself. Twitter is just a place where you can be validated for your negative feelings and thoughts, or whatever you do, you can get that validation from there. Reddit or message boards in general offers that group hive, that group mind think, and that self of I'm right and people that disagree with me are just clearly wrong. And then TikTok is the misspread of information and the shortening of the attention spans. So when you combine all of these together, I feel like this is why we have a generation where everyone feels like they're the main character. Everyone feels like they're entitled to greatness or succeeding. We have narcissism of the highest level. We just see people that don't have a good sense of reality or sense of the real world. And I feel like because of all of these social medias, because of the last 5 to 10 years of how social media has impacted our lives, when they do these studies, we're gonna see the cognitive thing that it is doing to us, because it's not healthy, it's not right. When you finally get away from it, you start to realize it. You guys let me know in the comment section, do you agree with the points that I'm trying to make with these social medias and how it's led to being an addiction, and it's to the point that you only talk and agree with your people that see and view like you? And that's kind of, I wouldn't say it's full-on cultish, but it's getting to cultish like behaviors, because I'm right, you're wrong, there's no middle ground. If you do think it's a middle ground, then you're stupid or wrong, and it's not productive, it's not healthy, it's not what we need to succeed and grow as a society. This is really what I want to talk about after taking time to reflect on things and see things for what it is. Once again, you let me know in the comment section, do you agree with me? Do you agree with some of them? Do you agree with none of them? That's perfectly fine. But as you know, of Chris K's, I'm gonna give you guys content whenever the content is there, whether it's music related, pop culture related, or just something I wanted to talk about. So I make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell for all my videos so you can like and participate in the comment section. This Chris Cadence, I'm out. This motherfucker.